Spoiler warning, also known as content previews. This show will cover all material: the main series, Dunk and Egg, the novellas, the world of Ice and Fire, quotes and interviews by George, and episodes of the show and its commentaries and bonus material. Enjoy.
You make a spoiler warning about Dunk and Egg, and Micah has not read it.
That's the best part!
Welcome back to a very special episode of Planetos podcast. We are back after a long hiatus over the holidays. And today we're going to be playing some trivia. I'm one of your hosts, Brett. You can find me on Twitter at HomelyPillow.
I'm another one of your hosts, Micah. And you can find me on Twitter at Micah_of Clark.
All right, so today we have two very special guests, and we're going to introduce them in just a second. We wanted to address Travis's absence.
Well, Travis is he's not feeling up to his greatest, but he is taking a leave of absence for a while. He's doing all right, but it's just a situation where he's just not 100% up to it right now, but it's not a permanent leave. He'll probably be back sometime in the future. For now, you're stuck with me and Brett and whoever guests we managed to capture.
Yes. So before we start our new segment, which I'm calling Planetos Trivia, very creative, I'd like to introduce our guests, Aemy Blackfyre.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Aemy Blackfyre. I don't know why I waved because you can't see me on camera, but these other guys could see me on camera. That's Aemy and Blackfyre with a Y. I have a blog, a podcast, and a YouTube channel, and they're all companions to each other. So you can consume my content by reading, listening, or watching. And I do all sorts of stuff. My main thing is A Song of Ice and Fire. I am a PhD student studying Chinese literature, so I look at Western fantasy through an Eastern lens, specifically symbolism and imagery. And I also have content about His Dark Materials, Avatar: The Last Airbender, and soon to come The Witcher and The Poppy War, which you may have heard me plug a billion times on my channel. And so you can find me. I know that Brett will have the links for you to find, but yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Aemy Blackfyre and go to youtube.com/Aemy Blackfyre. If you try to search Aemy Blackfyre on YouTube, it will say, "Did you mean Army Blackfyre?" And it will not let you find me. So make sure you do that. You can follow all the links on Twitter. And my blog is aswafchineselit.wordpress.com. And you can find me on Spotify, Google Play, Anchor, lots of stuff.
Awesome. Oh, we're happy to have you here. And our other guest.
I'm Pedro, and I am the guy behind the Arsoyaf account in Twitter, the Arsoyaf. I'm an Argentinian guy that has this Twitter account, only talking about A Song of Ice and Fire. I make analysis both in the form of threads, and sometimes I link to my Reddit post. If you want to look me on Reddit, I am by Peter Baelish _strong, and I'm pretty inactive there. But all my content is both in Spanish and in English. If you want to practice your Spanish or not, and I'm mainly about the more political side of the series. Maybe one day I will get another person to help me on the more magic Eldritch stuff.
All right, well, it's nice to have you too, and we'll make sure to put all y'all's links down below, like we've said before, so you'll be able to find these lovely people.
So, Brett, a trivia? How would we be consulting our points and whatnot?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and have we done such a thing before, Brett?
We did. They have changed slightly from last time because I think I worked some kinks out. Also, we did try to do this last week, and I forgot to hit record. So I posted a poll to see who you guys thought would win, and I think it was Micah, right? I think it was like, I'm not looking at the poll, but it was.
I do remember they. I don't understand why.
Well, like I treated it that we also, before doing the previous trivia, thought that Micah will win, but well, Aemy did.
Well, I think it was almost a tie there at the end, and then Aemy came through. It was a tie between Pedro and Aemy, and then or it was close. Actually, I have that they're not added up. I'm bad at math.
Anyway. I was super behind at first, and Brett was like, "I'm sorry, Aemy," halfway through the game, and then there was that question, and the answer was Strong Belwas, and I was like, "I know I can do this. That's my favorite minor character." So I pulled it out in the end, and no one on Twitter apparently everyone thought that Micah was the winner, but it was me. I won.
And no one will ever get to hear that episode because it wasn't recorded.
Tragedy.
So I am
so tragic.
I am looking at and making sure it's recording this time. I can visually see that it's recording. So
the points.
Okay, the points we're gonna do. If you are the first person to guess, you'll get 5 points. If you get it right. If you're the second person to guess, you'll get it right, you'll get 3 points. And if you're the third person to guess and everyone's gotten it wrong, you'll get 2 points or 1 point. 1 point. And then I've got a couple questions I'll throw out, like a couple bonus points, like two. Couples too. So a couple bonus points for those, and I'll let you know when those. And then I think after question 7 we'll do the we'll double the points. So that's what we did last time, right?
Yeah, we kind of did that last time. We did the double or nothing, air horns and all that.
Are y'all ready?
Let's do this.
I put a little
yeah.
I put a little extra twang.
I have a theory that I only won because it actually wasn't recording and the universe hates me. So
you know what stinks too? I think I tried my best with these second set of questions. But I really liked the ones from the first one because like there were so many that would and we can redo them. I think Micah just couldn't. Like, y'all can't compete if we reuse those questions, or if we wait a year, then everybody will forget it and then we can reuse them then. But all right, so y'all ready for question 1? Okay.
I did have a question though. Are we going to get deducted any points, or do you guys agree with me that you should not lose points? Okay,
no.
Thank you.
Question 1 is a quote. Tell me who this is quoted from. There's a tool for every task and a task for every tool. Pedro?
Yeah, it's Tywin saying this.
You are correct.
Yeah, I know it because it's the title of one of my essays. It's an essay about the mad dogs of the High Lords of Westeros. The main example is Gregor Clegane to Tywin Lannister, and it's a very cool quote. And he's specifically talking about Janos Lind being Lord Commander of the Night's Watch to Tyrion.
Nice. Okay, so you pulled ahead there.
Right on the money there.
Yep. Okay. Well, see. Okay, I hope these questions are a little easier than last time because I pulled out some really, really obscure ones. That one I thought I'd stump you with, but anyways, okay. What is the title given to the Burnmen's war chief? Do y'all know the title? Oh yeah, and we're on an honor system here, so we're assuming that none of you are cheating. So they call their war chiefs this title. So like,
okay, I didn't understand it. So I'm gonna go ahead and try for an answer.
Okay.
Go ahead. I didn't have one.
I'm trying not to cuss on your podcast.
Oh no! Oh no! We're you.
All right, shit. Okay, I think I think it has red in it. Is it red hand or like red hands or something like that?
You are correct.
I was about to say red feet, so I'm glad I didn't go with that.
So I'll throw out. So there's 7 points for you. I'll throw out 2 bonus points if you can tell me who the current...
5, Brett.
Huh?
It was 5, not 7.
Wait, what do you mean?
No, he's saying I would get 2 more points if I can answer this next question.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Okay.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Who is the current leader of the Burn Men?
I
have no idea.
Pedro was first.
Yeah, Pedro.
Timet, son of Timet.
You get 2 points.
Dang it! Was that easy? I don't know why I thought it'd be obscure.
I actually, it's funny because I didn't put down the answer, and I forgot to put down the answer, so I was like trying to think of it, and then you said it, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right.
There is all that theory that he's the true heir to the veil.
Yeah.
We're here for Lord Timet, son of Timet.
Okay, that was question 2. Okay, so question 3. Okay, quote. Okay, this is another quote. I have a lot of quotes because I really like the quotes. Who is this quoted from? Joffrey is truly a little shit.
That could be anyone.
I like how you were worried about cussing on this podcast, and little did I know.
Yeah.
I had a...
Okay. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Pedro. I'm second for guessing.
I will try, like, maybe some of the earlier chapters in Winterfell, and I will say Jon Snow.
You're correct.
God damn.
You're killing it this time.
I was between him and Arya, but
well, I think he says it to Arya. If I
remember.
Yeah, sounds right. Sounds like it would have been from the scene where he's playing at swords with Rob.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Because I thought that any of the Lannisters saying so, it's like it will be repetitive because we already know that he's a piece of shit when they are there. Like it would be either Jaime or Tyrion.
So Tyrion Lannister, serving as hand, is not sure whom he can trust. So he tells different secrets to Varys, Peter, Baelish, and Pycelle, tasking the Grand Maester with sending letters to Prince Doran Martell. What were Varys's and Peter's, or what was Varys and Peter tasked with?
I recall that there were 2 letters to Pycelle that say that Marcella will be sent to be married with Tristan Martell.
Yeah. I said that but the other 2. Yeah.
Littlefinger was trusted with arranging a marriage between Myrcella and Robert Arryn.
Okay.
And Varys was Tyrion told him that he was planning to marry Tommen to Arya.
You are correct. I was going to say that was a hard one to even get that down. So
yeah, the Varys one was the one I had difficulty remembering.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting because when I was looking at that, I was like, oh yeah, I can't remember what they were tasked with. So I thought that would stump you guys.
They changed it in the show. It was arranging a marriage between Myrcella and Theon Greyjoy. Because
oh yeah, they did.
It was repetitive with the Tom and Myrcella Arya.
Yeah, well, and the Dornish situation was also a little bit different as well, right?
Yeah.
Sort of. Yeah. In the show, because Arianne didn't. I'm just saying that, if in the show Arianne doesn't exist, that's actually a pretty good marriage get. But if not, then Myrcella would be third in line to be Princess of Dorne. So not as great as being second in line.
Yeah.
So
this is another quote. Who is this quoted from? Treason is a noxious weed. It must be torn up, root and stem, and seed, lest the traitors sprout from every roadside. Who is... Okay, Pedro?
It was Grand Maester Paisel, the one that said so.
You are correct. You're...
Brett, I think you found Brett's, or I think you found Pedro's thing.
I guess so. Oh, man.
You just had to do all the quotes, Brett. You had to do apparently his superpower. It's like if we did a round of all minor characters up against Micah.
No, I think that more the quotes, it's the fact that there are a lot of things King's Landing related, and especially Tyrion, Clash of Kings are related.
That's true.
And these are all politics kind of quotes. So Pedro is like, in my element, let's go, vamos.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. Question 6. This character needs no tinkly bells, but rather liver and onions. Who is this character? Okay, Pedro.
I thought that Aemy will answer it, and I think it's Strong Belwas.
You are correct.
I hate you so much, Pedro. I thought of it literally the second after you raised your hand. I was so mad.
I specifically threw that question in for you.
Man, Pedro, he was too quick for me.
One question. Did you throw the first quote knowing that my essay was called like that? Because I remember mentioning my essay.
No, I did not. That
was completely unplanned.
Yeah, I was coming up with these on the fly, so I wanted to include another Belwas one in there, though.
Damn it, Pedro, that one was mine to answer.
I really. But okay, so question 7. Okay, who is this quoted from? The greatest fools are oftentimes more clever than the men who laugh at them. Micah.
Is that Cersei?
Incorrect. Amy.
Okay, well, I was all right. I'll just go ahead and do it. I feel like might be about Pouch Face. I'm gonna go with Tyrion.
Incorrect.
I raised my hand first, really pointless. I will say Littlefinger.
Incorrect.
No, Littlefinger is the fool.
I think I sort of messed with you guys on this one. It's another Tywin quote.
Damn it, Tywin
really does not sound like him, actually.
I thought of Stannis, and the Stannis Tywin, they are the same.
I thought of I actually thought of Stannis too, because I thought the quote was about Patchface. Then I decided Tyrion at the last second. But he is Tywin writ small, Brett. Come on.
That is true. That is true. I really thought the laugh at them part. I really thought y'all would get
because his dad.
I thought y'all would get tied up between Tyrion and Tywin.
His period, hand to the Mad King, where he's the great genius.
Yeah.
And everybody's...
All right, so
now we're creeping onto the double or nothing, right?
Yeah, I think we're on double.
This
double
is where
or
I
nothing.
break the.
It's not really
where
double.
I break 0.
It's not really double or nothing, but just really double. Y'all ready? All right. How did Septon Sefton's brother Simon Staunton die? This is a Dunk and Egg thing.
Micah, have you even finished all of the novellas?
Brett, is this from the Misery Night?
No, it's from the second one, the Sworn Sword.
It's from Sworn Sword? Shoot.
Yeah. Did you?
I haven't read that one in a while.
I have my Pedro had his hand up first, but I'm next.
Okay.
Yes, but I will say he was drawn.
Incorrect. All right, Amy.
I think he choked on some meat bone or something.
I'll take it.
Was it ribs? No, some type of bone.
I'll take it.
Okay, thank you, Brett.
Simon died choking on a chicken bone.
Chicken. Okay.
But,
I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of barbecue. Too much.
It's difficult to remember how minor characters died because George is very creative with how people die.
So I'll throw out 2 bonus points to. I guess since Amy you got it right, or since you guessed it right, I'll throw out 2 bonus points. You get first you get a first crack at this. If you can guess, if he was Rohan's first, second, third, fourth, or fifth husband.
Oh my god. Okay, it's been forever since I read the novellas. So she's like in her late 20s or something, right?
I think she's 26.
Okay, well, technically, sort of, almost late 20s.
Yeah.
Crap. Okay,
She might be 24. I can't remember.
Okay.
One question. 5 husbands was the total number
3,
of
4.
husbands
I think it was 6.
had?
She had 6 total, right?
Yeah. I think.
Okay.
At the time in the story, though, in that story, she has 5. So.
Okay. And she doesn't when she's talking to Doug, she lists all of them and how they died, right, or something like that.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
When they're flirting and stuff. Okay.
When she's flirting, Dunk doesn't understand what's happening.
Yeah, I think she's the one that taught him game. Okay.
Donkey is just a natural addict.
Okay. This is a completely arbitrary answer. I'm obsessed with the number 3 because of the Maiden, Mother, the Crone, and the Holy Trinity, so I'm going with 3rd.
You are correct.
What the hell? That makes no sense. How the heck? Lucky number 3.
Actually, let me double check that.
Oh no!
Because
it's gonna be wrong.
I didn't write down the answer apparently for that. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
What? How?
It was her.
That is the most random reason for me to have picked that. I had to pick something, and I knew it was 1 through 5, basically, right?
Yeah.
I knew it wasn't the first because I forgot who she said was the first, but I knew he definitely wasn't the first.
Oh yeah.
She was like a baby or a child with the first one, and
yeah. She was. Yeah, she was I can't remember exactly how old, but yeah, she was a child. So you get 4, but you get 16 total points. So
what?
So yeah, you're catching up.
You say catching up, but Pedro came straight out of the gate.
What are the points, Brett? How far behind am I?
Okay, so Micah, you have 0 points.
Wow.
Amy, you have 23 points, and let me do some math real quick. Make it easy on I'm just gonna make it easy on myself and pull out the calculator. 37 points.
37 points.
That's what you have.
All right, this next question is worth 38 points.
Yes. This is sort of a quote about someone. Who is this about? Blank is less than the shadow of a snake.
It's I remember it's from Jorah about the service.
You are correct, and that was actually I was gonna give +2 points to if you could guess who it was, so I'll just go ahead and give those to you.
It's that moment in a Game of Thrones where Jorah says excellent quotes, but he's still a stupid guy.
Yeah, he is throwing off some good quotes throughout. Those was it the first, especially the first one, but
I think he's supposed to be presented to us as in the beginning as a really good advisor, so that we kind of feel like Danny feels, which is, this guy's going to help me out, and it's actually just that he's a creep sexual predator.
Yep.
I kind of like how Sansa, even though she's weary of Peter Baelish, could see him at first as this guy can help me out, but then once again, creep sexual predator.
Yeah. And slaver.
He's just terrible.
Yeah.
Yes.
Actually, both of them did human trafficking when you think about it.
Oh, God.
Jane Poole, yes.
Oh yeah, they both. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, what great company those two would be.
It's weird. They hate each other. Okay, so next question. After Chet kills Bessa, who was sent by Lord Walder to judge the criminal and send him to the wall? Yes, Pedro.
I will say The Black Walder.
You are incorrect. Good guess though.
Like he's the worst Frey. Like, but I don't know. That's
Most of the phrases are pretty terrible. Okay, Amy.
Okay, I think it's. Wait, is Blackwalder the same as Walder Rivers?
no.
No?
No, those are
Okay.
two very different people.
Okay, so Blackwalder is. I hate to use this term, but not bastard, quote unquote, bastard born, right? And
Yeah.
Walder Rivers is.
Yeah.
Okay, then Walder Rivers is my answer.
You're correct.
After I answered it, I thought maybe a natural son will be. I remember it was like very slow station or very severe, and well, I went with the severe.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it'd be pretty metal if it was Blackwalder, like, if we're being honest.
well, this is a quote from Jamie. His thoughts about Walder Rivers. I just pulled this quote because I thought it was really interesting. But
Okay.
Jamie, he thinks that one is more dangerous than any of his trueborn brothers. About
Ooh,
Bastard
okay.
Walder is an interesting
remember-
case in the phrase.
I remember a quote about him that it's like he hated everyone that wasn't a bastard because they weren't, and maybe he adds and all bastards, but I don't remember.
it's he hates anyone who's not a bastard.
So
I
it's
can't
like
remember the quote.
reverse discrimination.
Yeah.
How bastards are discriminated against.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
he's the one who says, "I'm not racist. I hate everyone."
Yeah, yes. oh, I forgot to mention we're in the fray right now, so these are
Nice.
are
But
some-
Hey,
yeah. So I've got a few fray questions coming up, and that was just the start. Who was Lord Walder Frey's eldest son? Micah.
Stevron.
You are correct. You are on the board now with 14 points.
Whoop-de-doo. That's what these double or nothings are for.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stevron is the eldest and the first to die.
So-
Yes, he was killed.
Should I don't know. Should I make it interesting? We're on the last three questions.
What's the point difference?
Okay, so Mike has 14. Amy has 33. And you have 53.
Have you been whenever it's double? Have you been if someone answers second, they don't get as many, right?
They get I gave you 10 instead of since like the one you answered second.
Yeah,
Instead
but then like technically, if let's say I got that wrong and Micah answered, he would have gotten 6, right?
Yes.
So what if in the last 3 rounds it stays the same point value no matter who answers? Like it's still double, but you would get that even if you answered second or third.
I like that.
That would
Okay.
be cool.
I like
Rather
that.
than tripling. It's just more math for Brett. This isn't math.
Yes.
Planetos
That's
trivia.
True. That's true. And math has always been like my weakest subject. So, which phrase go missing shortly after departing from White Harbor? Micah,
Rhaegar Frey, Jared Frey, Simon Frey.
you are correct. All right, so you're coming back, Micah. You got 20,
Yeah.
You got 28 points now.
Woohoo!
So 28, 33 for Amy, and then 53 for Pedro. This one, it's just a quote, and this might be a shot in the dark here.
So points go to Pedro automatically if it's a quote question.
Okay, so who says this? You think too much. Yes.
I would say Oberyn Martell.
Incorrect. Do you want me to put more context to this and let y'all go again?
I would prefer that. I don't know if Mike and they.
Oh,
God, if I say I don't. Okay.
Can I make a guess?
Yes. Yeah.
It's a fray. Allegedly, I believe we're still in the
Oh.
fray.
No.
So
We're actually
no?
out. We're actually out.
We're
of that.
out?
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. That
Okay, then
it
I'm
ended
not
with the Frey
sure.
pies. It ended with the Frey pies. Yeah. Right.
Oh no. Okay.
That's how they all end.
Yeah.
Boo.
Spoilers for the Winds of Winter.
Then I'm not. I'm gonna need to think about it then, because I was automatically just gonna think of a Frey.
Okay. Do you want to take a shot at this, Micah?
I'll take a shot. This sounds like something Cersei might say about Jaime.
Incorrect. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let Amy guess, and then I'm gonna give more context to this.
Okay. Well, if we're out of the phrase,
because I have a hard time believing
that someone could.
Well, that you think too much wasn't used more than once. You know, it's probably
okay.
But in this specific scenario,
I don't know. I'll just, since there's no negative points for getting it wrong, I'll just throw it out there. Jon Snow.
Incorrect. So I'll leave the same amount of points on the board. Okay. This quote, "You think too much," is specifically said to Hyle Hunt. So who said that to Hyle Hunt? I feel like Pedro had your hand up first, and then Micah.
Yeah, I didn't watch. I was watching the window. I will say Brienne of Tarth, just because.
Incorrect. But it was a good guess. Micah.
I think that's something. Shoot. No, actually, changing my guess, like at the last second, Randall Tarley says this.
You are correct. So there's another 14 points.
Dang it! Now he passed me, Micah.
I was thinking about Jaime Lannister. It's a very Jaime Lannister quote, like to Cersei, not from Cersei.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it could have been both ways. They both would say that to each other.
Yeah, like I said, I
don't think either of them thinks enough, but
yeah, like I said, that quote was a little too simple. Yeah, well, it is too vague.
It makes sense though. Hyle Hunt is the dollar store version of Jaime Lannister.
Yeah, true. That is correct.
Was that the last question, or do we still have one more?
We have one more. So right now,
a final question.
Right now,
get the air horns and the strobe lights.
That's what I'm here for.
I'll say this to keep this interesting. This will, whoever can answer this gets 21 points and will win for this final question. So right now, Micah, you have 42. Amy, you have 33, and Pedro has 53. So 21 points would get you. Whoever gets this wins.
I see.
So we're going triple points here. I guess we got there anyways. So, so this is another quote, and it is, "Power tastes best when sweetened by courtesy." Pedro.
I would say Littlefinger.
Incorrect. Amy.
I wanted to say Cersei, but like as if she were talking to Sansa.
Yeah.
But I actually think this is a Ramsay quote talking maybe to his son. No? Crap.
No, wait. I'll let you correct that. You misspoke.
You
meant Roose?
Roose talking to his son. Ramsay can't be his own father.
I'll give it to you because you knew what you were talking about. He was
basically his dad was like, dude, calm down. We have power, but you've got to like play the game, sort of.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because Ramsay beat Cray Cray.
Okay, so I guess congratulations to our two-time winner.
That doesn't make any sense. No, Pedro was killing it with all the quotes. This does not make sense.
It was subverting expectations.
He even got this strong Bellas question. That was my jam.
I will say Pedro probably. most definitely
Pedro
not.
deserved to win.
He deserved to win.
Yeah.
But it's a rigged system.
It was
That's
very
just a Song
similar.
of Ice and Fire in a
It was
nutshell.
very similar to the one that wasn't recorded. Like I had a good run there. Like I answered like 3 questions in a row.
Well, I
And
think
then you made it double or nothing, and I answered none, and I lost to it.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say it sort of happened because the last time it was sort of stolen from you too, because you and Amy were close in points.
Pedro demands a recount, is what he's saying.
Yes. He
Well,
might.
congratulations, Aemy Blackfyre, for the first win of our first ever trivia on the Planetos podcast.
Officially, that was
But-
recorded.
Officially.
But
I feel like my other one was way more deserved. This one feels a little cheap because it was like right at the end, and I didn't get. I think I got one of the Frey questions. I don't know.
Yeah.
You should do like categories sometime, Brett. Be like Iron Islands question trivia.
We got
and-
stuff in mind. We got
Ooh,
stuff
I'm
in mind.
excited.
Yeah, I think once we get this out and see like let people listen to it and let people throw out suggestions and whatnot, we'll because we're thinking about doing like POVs or more specific, that way you can study for it, and then maybe we'll organize the questions more. But I do like going.
Yes, I need to study. I'm a grad student. Please do like a pick topic so that I could like prepare.
Yeah. Well, and then maybe we'll keep the questions the same, and then we'll keep doing it. The last question we'll do triple points again. We'll keep it like that. I think that way we're not making it up as we go, and then Pedro doesn't get robbed, of his win.
I'm glad you weren't strict about me accidentally saying Ramsey when I met Roos. You'd be like, no one gets it because Amy misspoke. Pedro, you're the winner. Congratulations.
Well, you were like Ramsey to his son. I was like, I know what you meant. I'm gonna let you correct that.
For a moment, I say maybe I win because Amy confused Ramsey with Bruce, but then it didn't feel right.
yeah.
Well, okay. Well, you know what? We could just make this a poll after it comes out and say, right now, Amy holds the victory, but maybe we can let people vote on it.
No, that usually I'm all for polls, but they're gonna say take it away from her and give it to Pedro because she misspoke. And then every single round of trivia, everyone's gonna be so careful with their words.
Well, what was
Good.
Micah?
Micah, you're just salty.
Well, Micah, what was your guess gonna be? Were you gonna guess Roos or?
Oh, my guess? I'd forgotten.
But
I
it
was
wasn't
thinking
Roos.
Cersei was too obvious. I was thinking it could have been Tywin, which Tywin and Roos are also very similar archetypes, but
Well,
and Ramsey is, well, this is always said on the Notacast, and it's that Ramsey is Tywin's Tyrion, like him but small and without knowing how to behave in society.
I was gonna say, Micah, you were very honest right there. So you just kind of, you could have said you were gonna say Roos. That way you could have been like, I was gonna win, and then it could have been really interesting. That poll.
I can't help it.
Micah is a man of high character.
I can only lie in Among Us.
Or a game of Secret Hitler.
Probably.
I've never played that.
There are other versions of it.
neither.
I forget the other ones. It's also called Mafia. It's the same as Mafia if you've ever played Mafia.
Okay. Yeah.
And you have to
Yeah.
lie. I'm so bad at it because I'm terrible at
Yeah.
lying. I have so many tells.
Yeah.
Like, I
that's
could
true.
never play poker.
Yeah, I probably couldn't either. So we like to, when we bring on new guests, we like to hear what we call your song of Ice and Fire. And me and Travis did it in our original episode. Micah's done it. when he first guested, and so just everyone, it's kind of just a tradition. So just like I guess just a little. I guess Pedro, you go first, and just sort of just how you got into the fandom, or just anything. Yeah, and you could go as long or as short as you want. That are and anybody who listens to this knows we do this. So
Yeah. Well, I first watched the show. I actually watched the show twice, once myself and once with my mother, in what was a very difficult experience. It's very awkward, usually.
yes.
And well, then I wanted to go go even further, so I bought the books, I read the books, and I was familiarized with Brendan Beefish, Jeff, and like I started reading his essays. I listened to the podcast that he has, a very old one, the ones of Wars of Ice and Fire, or Wars and Politics of Ice and Fire. And I started listening to several podcasts, including the Notacast and Radio Westeros and you and History of Westeros and Learn It and so on. And I started interacting in the Notacast, in the Notacast chat in the live stream. There I met Micah, and I wanted to continue chatting with them on Twitter. I saw that they do that, but nobody actually followed me on Twitter. Micah was the first one and one of the few that follows me in my personal account. And so I decided to start the Aksoyaf account to be more known in the fandom. Like you are more willing to follow an account that you know will talk about all A Song of Ice and Fire related. So I just created it, and well, now I'm here in the podcast that I used to listen, fulfilling the dream of all podcast listeners, that is to be part of the podcast.
We're really glad that you came on. We're definitely gonna have to figure out how to bring on more guests and like repeat guests on more often, because it tends to be a long waiting period. So I want to try to change that. But anyways, Aemy, you want to tell your song of Ice and Fire, or your song of Ice and Fire?
Well, Brett, my Song of Ice and Fire started. It started during my undergrad. I heard that this show was coming out and everyone was talking about it. So I watched the first season and I immediately drove to Barnes and Noble and bought all of the books, which I think only 4 were out, or Dance was just about to come out or had just come out. I don't remember the timing exactly. But I read them really, really quickly. And I was already a science fiction and fantasy fan. I actually study Chinese science fiction. That's my jam. And I think of SFF, they're kind of like brother genres. So I got into it a lot really quickly. And it was also a kind of communal experience for me. I would have people over to watch the episodes when they were released, and all the way up until season 8, where I had just moved to Colorado, and my best friend Jenna, shout out Jenna, she came over and we watched every single episode together. And then we would talk about it afterwards and drink wine. So I had that going on for me, and then I literally just searched Westeros in Apple Podcasts, and I found History of Westeros. And then actually I found Planetos pretty quickly, because I knew that Planetos was another like term for the Aswaf community. So I found you guys like maybe second or third, maybe even before Radio Westeros, which I know doesn't make any sense since I searched Westeros. But I super got into History of Westeros, and then I started getting into their Facebook group, and then I didn't actually join Twitter until not even a year ago. I haven't been on Twitter even a year, and I basically was consuming so much content that it was all I was doing. And I love true crime, and I hadn't even listened to a true crime podcast for almost a year because I was so obsessed with it, with Song of Ice and Fire. So I eventually got really involved in the fandom community in the little corner of Here Be Dragons with Steven Stark. and his lovely co-hosts Nessie and John. And I decided I would be a content creator back in June of I guess it's coming up coming up to a year. So I started it. I was writing some essays. And then Steven told me, what about, people that just want to listen to it? So I started a YouTube channel where I just read my essays. And then all of a sudden I was having guests on, including Amanda, aka Crowfood's daughter, which is to this day like my main brag, that I've had Amanda on my channel, which is now my pod, which was a great get.
That's pretty awesome.
She's amazing, by the way. She's so nice. Anyway, so I now regularly have guests on to talk about Song of Ice and Fire, His Dark Materials, and more. I even have something called Buddy Banter once a month where I just have on a friend to talk about whatever they want. Micah picked DC on the TV. So we talked about DC movies with quotes and TV shows, which were actually good, and animated series. We had a ball, didn't we, Micah?
We did. It was great.
Wait, did y'all talk about like the DC like animated movies?
Oh, did we ever?
Well, the animated movies, not so much.
Mostly
more
the series.
Shows. We couldn't fit everything in 2 hours, unfortunately.
Yeah,
it was like
there was a lot.
We spent the first basically the first 45 minutes alone on the Justice League animated series because we were both such fans.
Because that slaps and is the GOAT.
Yeah, so I've been branching out from A Song of Ice and Fire. I'm also this is a Planetos podcast exclusive. I haven't announced this yet. I'm going to start doing X-Men content, specifically the comics, because that was actually my first fandom, was being an X fan. I would read the comics online, and I have been obsessed with X-Men for a long time. So I'm doing a reread right now, and I believe our good friend Micah and my good friend Kelly, aka Jaded Redhead, has agreed to come on my channel to talk about the comics. So we're going to do it by sagas, not necessarily chronologically. And we're going to start out with the Phoenix saga, since most people know that. That's a great way to introduce everyone.
I'll be excited for that one.
Yeah, so I'm now covering 5 different fandoms, which is really fun. Basically anything I'm obsessed with. If I can get someone to come on to talk about the 1997 Cinderella or Parks and Rec, I kind of just want to do whatever I want to talk about. And especially things that are Asian inspired, like Avatar: Last Airbender. I've been having a ball talking about that as well. So yeah, anyway, so Song of Ice and Fire for me is a reflection of my nerdiness, and I've met amazing people. I met my partner through the fandom, which is very common. So yeah, it's changed my life, and I don't mean that in a cliche way. It legit has changed the trajectory of my life, and I don't think I could have gotten through quarantine without everyone. So including Planetos podcast, which has been in my ear I feel like we've been friends forever, Brett, even though the first time I met you was during our failed recording.
Well, yeah.
But Micah I've known for a while, so he I don't know how he deals with me still, but
I don't know either.
And his dog is my dog, so I've decided to officially adopt Micah's dog. He doesn't know about it yet, but that's what's happening.
I have an anecdote that is that one time when I realized that Micah Clark from the Not a Chat, Not a Cast was the same Micah that was a host of the Planetos podcast. I was amazed, and he was this, almost a celebrity, and he was now we are mutuals, and I'm here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's great. It's great to have both of you guys on here. Yeah,
content creators, they're just like you.
yeah. But
I also have a fun anecdote. I was talking to someone with my partner. They're like, oh, and we were like, oh yeah, we've told you how we met, and they're like, oh yeah, through that show, and we were like, yeah, through that show. And we wanted to just be it's more than a show. There's actually a book series. There's this guy named George R. R. Martin, and he has a lot of themes, and his books are 900 pages. It's just and actually there's a whole community around it, and our lives are cons. Anyway, what? Hello? Yeah. I actually was going to go to my first con in 2020, so screw me, right?
Hey, I was going to have to miss that con, and now it's it's been delayed. I don't know what's going on with it. I don't even know if the tickets are sold out or anything, but now it's whenever quarantine's up, that's the first thing I'm gonna be looking at is see if I can still make it to that.
They canceled the whole con because you were not going.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep,
it's
that's the
canceled.
reason.
Brett can't come. So sorry you waited like 1, possibly 2 years, everyone. Oh, I also do want to give a shout out to my friend John Webster, because I was only about like 5-ish months into being a content creator, and he asked me to co-host his channel all about movies. So I have met some really great people through this. Which we're now turning into a podcast, thank goodness, because Saturday night live streams, my God, I want my Saturday nights back. So we're going to do recorded episodes. Recorded episodes are the way to go. Man, Brett, you were
Yes.
like, podcasts are the way to go. You guys are brilliant.
I getting our live stream up last time was just, it was a nightmare. I forgot even how we got it working, but
And
but
you
now-
felt like accidentally not recording something was tech issues. Like live streaming sometimes, man, it'll just you'll fall out of the live stream.
yeah,
Or someone's audio will be crap, and like you can't. It's there forever memorialized on YouTube.
yeah, exactly. And like I felt like too, like I had to pay attention to like make sure like the live stream didn't crash like the whole time. So like I understand like when like History of Westeros does it, like how like Ashea has to like take a step back and be behind the camera like at all times. Yeah, so yeah.
All right.
But I think well, thank you for sharing y'all's stories.
Yeah.
They're amazing, and
Mine
Love it.
meandered. Sorry about that. Pedro was like, "Here's how I got into Song of Ice and Fire." Blah blah blah. Okay, you're welcome, people. And I was like, "Well, you know, the history of mankind began."
well, you know, this is sort of a, you know, it's a lax episode. We're going a little free form
Yeah.
here, so
You don't have a script.
and it's been what? It's been like since like the end of October since we've recorded an episode. So
I liked the one where you all talked about what you were like reading and up to.
yes,
And watching. That is actually okay. Well, Marcella, the one about Marcella and the one about Lyson Omar, like will always be special in my heart. But that's like in my top 5 favorite episodes because I got to know you guys really well.
oh yeah. I love doing those. I try to use those every chance I get to talk about the Bobaverse books and trying to get people to read them because they're fairly.
Is that the one about the cowboy guy who's trying to get to the city?
No, it's about a guy who like he gets like rich off like a cell phone app, and then he ends up signing up with this company where they would like cryogenically like freeze his head until they find the technology to bring him back to life. And then
it must have been Travis that was talking about some guy that was like trying to make it to a tower or the city, and he was like this cowboy character.
The Dark Tower.
That's the Dark Tower, Amy. That's
okay.
That's like one of the most famous fantasy series out there.
I've literally never heard of it until that episode. So
I remember loving those sketchup episodes.
Yes,
right?
yeah.
And I also love the first thing I listened from you was the one of the small council.
Yes,
that
where
was
they all
really
pick their
fun.
council.
If
I approve of
having my
Micah's
own
choices
podcast,
so hard.
If any day I'm having my own podcast, I will copy that format.
Oh yeah, you
Totally.
welcome.
Go
you're
for
welcome
it.
to.
Do it. We encourage it.
We could probably do that again too.
Are
Sometime.
you gonna call it Buenos Noches with Pedro? Because that's your stick. Every time you come out, the chat is over. You're like Buenos Noches, everyone.
Yeah, it's to create a brand.
You could probably start like I don't know if there's any like Spanish speaking like podcasts, but that would be like kind of cool. I mean, I wouldn't be able to understand it. But...
Yeah, there are like there are like 2 very big ones. There are both from Spain. One is La Canción Continúa. It's the song continues and it's a reread. And the other one they have one small council episode. They are Lamprey Pie or Empanada de Lamprey in Spanish. And both of them are great podcasts. Maybe they're listening. I think they do listen to this podcast.
All I know is one of
Very
my
cool.
theories got picked up by a Spanish language like ASWAF site, and they translated it, and I was like, "That's cool."
Oh, that's awesome.
That made me really happy.
Yeah, and I think it's called Los Siete Reinos, the Seven Kingdoms.
Yes, that's the one.
It's the biggest one.
I was so impressed. I was like, someone actually read all of the theory in English and then thought, I'm gonna put this in Spanish. I just got a tag by WordPress, and I was like, who's citing me? No one cites me except for Low. And then I was like, holy crap, this is my whole theory, but in Spanish.
That's pretty cool.
That was like when I was like, I've made it. The second time I said I've made it is when I got to 420 followers on Twitter.
Somebody get Micah's theory.
Yeah, seriously, his Heil Hunt theory is amazing. Someone should translate that. Pedro, you got some time?
Well, I translated all my essays, and I have a 4,000 word essay. I write it in English and then I translate it. It's really boring. It totally failed. It has 7 upvotes in Reddit, and I realized that I should make shorter essays.
Always shorter essays, Pedro. I have a very strict 5, max 6 page limit, and I have only hit it once. So people don't ain't nobody got time for that. Is basically that's the weirdest thing is the ASWA fandom will read 900 pages and then they'll be like, oh, your essay's 7 pages. I don't know if I have time for that. I'm so busy.
Hey. Yeah.
Brett is the guy who won't read past 5 pages. I already know now.
Yep. Unless you stick it, unless you make an audio form for me. Yeah.
See, the people I created my podcast/channel for that don't want to actually read it, but want to consume it.
Yes,
exactly. I'm not blaming the guys that didn't read it. I was rereading the essay to find mistakes, grammar mistakes, mainly because I am dyslexic. I'm not a first English speaking person. And I was unable to read it all in one row. In fact, when I translated it, I uploaded it in 3 different essays, but it's the same essay.
Pedro, when around the same time you figured out that I was that Micah, and when you found me on Twitter, I was also similarly excited when you followed me on Twitter and said it was you because I really enjoyed chatting with you in the not a chat.
I was excited when you showed up to my first live stream on my channel, Pedro. I was like, oh my god, it's Pedro.
Yeah, I find that several the guy that I don't know if he created, but he's the main guy in the 7 Kingdoms, Los Siete Reinos. He knew me, he's the biggest Spanish-speaking content creator, and he knew me because of the Notacast. Once I appeared in one of his live streams and asked a question, and he knew me, and it was strange.
Wow, awesome. Well, that does it for our trivia for today. Thank you to everyone participating. Feel free. I hope that some people tried to guess as they were listening to what their answers were. I hope that you answered at least or more than I did correctly. And thanks to our guests for joining. It was wonderful to have both of you guys. We love you. We love your content. For all our listeners, please rate and review us on iTunes and other platforms, and follow us on Twitter at Planetos Podcast, Facebook, and Instagram. You'll be able to find us on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, and Podbean, if I recall correctly.
And Spotify.
And Spotify,
and
there
YouTube,
it is.
And YouTube.
And also YouTube.
Just anywhere that you listen to your podcast will probably pop up.
Once again, I'm Aemy Blackfyre. That's AEMY, Blackfyre with a Y. You can find me on YouTube, and you can find me on Anchor if you want to listen in podcast form. And I am also, my blog is aswafchineselit.wordpress.com.
I'm Pedro. My Twitter account is arcsoyaf_, and you can find me also on Reddit Petar_strong.
Awesome. And all the links will be down below, or they're below now because we're recording this in the past and you're listening to it now. All right, bye.
And it all recorded, right?
It all recorded.
Thank you, Brett. Thank you, Brett.
It's still recording, actually.
Can I say goodnight in Chinese then?
Yes.
Wan-an.
Is that it?
That's it. Wan-an. It literally means peaceful night.
Oh, nice.
Have a good night, everyone.
You better hit record this time, Brett, or else
It's-
I'm canceling you.
I guess it's not the worst thing to be canceled for.